So finally, let's get to the core of this topic, which is how to be decisive. Number one, be willing to make mistakes. Don't be afraid of making bad and wrong decisions. Number two, train yourself on minor, mundane decisions. Before you go making bold decisions in your life, because those are challenging to make, first, you can train yourself every day on little things throughout the day. For example, when you go to the restaurant with your friends and they are ordering something off the menu, how long does it take you to decide what you want to order? Are you sitting there hemming and hawing and mumbling about, oh, well, I don't know, should I get the chicken? Should I get the fish? Should I get the steak? What should I get? I don't know. No. Train yourself from now on to make those little decisions quickly, decisively. This is probably the best method I know for how to train yourself to be decisive. Like practically, how do you do it? Start with little decisions and force yourself to make them rapidly. The stakes there are not very big. That's what's nice with the little decisions. You don't have to, if you choose the wrong meal at the restaurant, it's not a big deal. Force yourself to choose it quickly. And then figure out, what does it take for you to choose the right meals? You can actually dissect that. You can kind of see what are your culinary values and what meals honor those values. And then you can make good decisions based on that by knowing what you like, what you don't like. Other little decisions, even like, for example, when you're driving somewhere, let's say you got to drive to your dentist's office tomorrow, right, for an appointment. Now, you could take one road or another road to get to the dentist. Let's say both roads are about equally long. They take about the same time. Sometimes one takes a little bit longer. It has some construction on it. Sometimes a road takes a little bit longer because it has more traffic on it, depending on the time of the day, right? And you're in your car and you're about to drive to the dentist's office and you don't know which road to take. You don't know. And you might sit there in your mind for a few minutes and just kind of like stuck, paralyzed. Well, now you've set the intention that you want to become a decisive person in your life, so make that decision quickly. Even if it's going to be the wrong decision, make it quickly. And train yourself to keep doing that. And when you do that, experience the kind of joy and relief that comes with being decisive versus the pain and suffering that comes with being indecisive about such things. Oftentimes, you should also notice that you're being indecisive about trivial things that don't even matter. Like in this case, the difference between taking road A versus road B might be 2 minutes. You might spend 10 minutes in your own mind wrestling with which road to take without realizing that actually it doesn't matter which road you take. It really doesn't matter. Take the more scenic route. Take the route that takes 2 minutes longer and listen to some music and enjoy your day, right? Rather than being stuck in your head, beating yourself up about taking the wrong road. Be very mindful of that. A lot of times you're forced with a decision which is actually very trivial. It seems significant, but it isn't. Therefore, don't waste your mental energy on it. Just choose and go with the thing. Get on with your life. The third step for how to be decisive is deliberate about important decisions, but once you've made your decision, stick to it. Train the habit of sticking with it rather than the habit of backtracking. So one of the worst things you can do is make a decision, then the next day change your mind, then the next day change your mind back again, and do this over and over again. It's like, let's say you've decided to break up with your girlfriend because you think she's not right for you. So you break up with her. And then the next day you're like, but I really like her. Maybe she is right for me. And then you go back. And then you say, no, actually, I was right the first time. And then you go back again. Like this sort of back and forth, this crap, it wastes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it creates a lot of suffering for you and for others in your life. So train yourself not to do that. It's sort of a decision you make. You make a decision that you're not going to be backtracking on your decisions, and then you stick with it. And you incur the cost. That means if you make the wrong decision, you stick with it. You don't backtrack. And you feel the cost of the wrong decision. Because actually you recognize that training this habit of backtracking all the time, this is actually sort of an even worse meta decision that you're making, and you don't want to do that. The fourth point about being decisive is get really clear about your values, your vision, your life purpose, and keep working on that and clarifying it. You don't just do that once in your life, then you're done. You keep clarifying and massaging your values and really poking and prodding at them over your lifetime until they get clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And then when you're rock solid on that, it becomes very, very easy to make decisions. It becomes easy to decide what kind of people you should have in your life or which kind you shouldn't. It becomes easy to decide, where to go Friday night. It becomes easy to decide what kind of food you should or shouldn't eat. And what kind of business proposals you should entertain and which kind you can't. If somebody sends you an email promising you to make a bunch of money through some get-rich-quick scheme by collaborating with them, you can quickly say, no, that's against my values. I don't even need to think about it. It's just contrary to my values, and therefore, no. It's an easy no. When you're not clear about your own values, you become very easily manipulatable, very easily influenced. Other people will become your puppet masters. The next point closely related to this is leverage your top values that you found using the life purpose course process that I helped you to go through. Use your top 10 values to help you make your decisions. So literally into every important decision, you go in there and you ask yourself, okay, my top 10 values, where does this decision, which of these top 10 values does this decision honor? And which of them does it dishonor? And if it dishonors more than it honors, then that's a bad decision. Easy. And if it honors like your top 3 values, that's an easy yes decision. Because you can't really get better than that. If some decision is honoring your top 3 values, what more could you want? The next point is take responsibility for being a decision maker. Think of yourself as a decision maker. And stop trying to outsource decisions to other people. Don't ask others to decide for you. A lot of times people will send me a message hoping that I can decide something for them. Like, Leo, should I break up with her or shouldn't I? Leo, should I do this thing or should I do that thing? Leo, should I take psychedelics or should I wait a few years? Leo, should I pursue this life purpose or that life purpose? Should I pursue this passion or that passion first? Should I start my business now or should I finish my education first? Should I go pursue awakening today or should I wait to get my finances in order? Don't ask me these questions. Assume responsibility for making these decisions. Remember, you're the CEO of your life, not me. The next point is don't stall or procrastinate decisions. Train yourself to make decisions as they arise. The next point is observe the consequences and suffering that comes from backtracking and stalling on important decisions. Observe the inner turmoil it creates. Observe how it drains your mind, how it causes you to overthink, overworry, and fear. Like, what's nice about training yourself to become decisive is that it also gives you sort of a cool and calm and groundedness amidst chaos. That's an attractive quality. It gives you confidence. That doesn't mean that you're always going to be making the right decision. It means that even if you're making the wrong decision, you're still going to do it in a cool, collected way. And you're not going to be lured in by backtracking, and you're not going to be procrastinating. You're not going to be afraid of these decisions. You're going to confront these decisions head on with responsibility. And it's going to be relatively easy for you to do so because you're very clear about your values, unlike most people. So I'm not just telling you that you're going to be making decisions kind of like randomly, really quickly, based on nothing, just in order to kind of like project an air of confidence and decisiveness. This is kind of like a fake way of going about it. I'm not telling you to become like that. Fundamentally, you're going to be grounded in your values. You're going to know your values so well that you will be able to make really high quality decisions very quickly in most situations, and they're going to be very accurate but it's going to take you time to train yourself to get to that point, right? You're not going to start there. This is an aspect of your character that you're developing, is decisiveness. It might take you 5 or 10 years of incremental work to get to that level of like really solid, precision level decisiveness, very authentic, decisive, confident sort of manner. It's going to maybe take you 5, 10 years to develop that. You're going to start today, and you're going to start with these little decisions and then make your way up to bigger ones. That's something you're going to develop. And then kind of like envision to yourself how awesome it's going to feel once you reach that level.